Welcome to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP, in association with TheLibertyBeacon.com, and I am your host, Joseph M. Lenard, and that's Lenard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and occasional guest type podcast. I really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Hello, everyone. Welcome to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast, Season 2, Episode 71. If you're looking behind the scenes, well, maybe on audio you can hear me as Limbaugh used to say, in my formerly nicotine-stained hands, but I never used to smoke. But in my hands, notes from the LibertyBeacon.com piece that will be entitled RFK Jr. as Health Secretary? Question mark? That's what this show was going to be about. And I know you've heard me say it before. This won't be the last time I do it. I'm going to deviate from the plan and ask, as I always do, I always say, right, this show and the LibertyBeacon.com pieces drop on the same Saturdays, correlate, correspond, are in conjunction with each other. Normally they're at least 80-ish, well, maybe not 60, 70% in sync, but I always want to have things in the article at TLB that are in the article but not here, and things in here that are not in the article. And this one's going to be a whole lot of stuff that ain't in the article, because I'm not going to spend much time on RFK Jr. as Health Secretary. I'm sure you've all known. Why? Because I'm actually going to drop a second and a third segment in here that were video exclusives. One is a video exclusive regarding YouTube, but I'm going to put it in here so everyone understands what's going on with my show at YouTube. And then the third segment is going to be the Kamalunist said the quiet part out loud. Yeah, I just want to leave it as a tease. That was also a video exclusive drop. I guess now it's a behind the scenes sneak peek exclusive, now that I'll be indeed dropping it in this show. And if you watch behind the scenes for this show, I'm going to edit in a few more things that weren't in the original exclusive pieces on video. At any rate, RFK Jr. as Health Secretary, I'm sure you all know, we've talked in the past, the lawfare the left has been engaging in against Trump, trying to keep him off the ballot, a moot point now. And then when they were trying to kick RFK Jr. off the ballots too, but then when he dropped out, they were then in court saying, never mind what we said 2 days ago. We want you to force RFK Jr. to be on the ballot to potentially take some votes. Do you not get it yet? The CTP episode, again, brain, mouth, once I hit record, they don't want to cooperate. The CTP episode about the issue is never the issue. It exactly applies here. Whatever is convenient for the left to say or do any given minute of the day, even if it contradicts something they said 3 seconds ago, doesn't matter. It's whatever convenient bull, you know what, they need to spread at any given second to lie to people, to sucker people into votes for them, because they cannot sell what they're really trying to peddle. No one would buy it. But RFK Jr., of course, now a quasi-unity ticket. Well, not a true unity ticket like Abraham Lincoln and the Democrat Johnson, which, of course, that's why they killed Lincoln, promised 40 acres and a mule, actual reparations when reparations made sense, and the Southern Democrats killed Lincoln, and Johnson, the Democrat, came in and immediately said, no, I'm going to focus on helping the defeated Southern Democrat plantation owners by helping through Reconstruction to bail them out instead. And then the former slaves, a lot of them were stuck going back to the plantations because they had nothing. They were freed, but had nothing other than what abolitionist Republicans helped through charity and other means and mechanisms and organizations to try to help get them on their feet by giving them a helping hand rather than a handout, so they would become Americans and engage in the wealth and build of themselves. But a lot had to go back to the plantations because they had nowhere to go, nothing they could do, so they were still kind of slaves. Economic slaves. And as Candace Owens says of today, still today, after what LBJ said and did, it was the Republican Civil Rights Act. They filibustered during Eisenhower, so he couldn't sign it. JFK had no interest in signing it. LBJ, after JFK was killed, said, I'll have those you-know-what's voting Democrat for the next 200 years because I am going to tell, and he did, the Democrats in the Senate to not filibuster the bill this time. Still a Republican bill passed because of Republicans. The Democrats voted against it, except for a few, but voted against it. They just didn't filibuster it. So LBJ could co-opt it and pretend it was his again. And then the Great Society, as Candace Owens says, the economic plantation to try to keep blacks on a plantation, a leftist demo KKK rats plantation of some shape or form. So it's not a real unity ticket like that was, or like McCain-Lieberman almost was. And had McCain indeed chose Lieberman, who was one of the last reasonable Democrats there actually was back then. A lot I didn't agree with him on, but I would have wholeheartedly supported a McCain-Lieberman ticket more than just supporting McCain. And I was happy in a way that he picked Palin, though Lieberman would have been another choice. The unity ticket thing, Palin made McCain a far better candidate, and Lieberman would have made McCain a far better candidate. But we're talking a quasi-unity ticket because RFK Jr. isn't on the ticket for VP, nor Tulsi Gabbard, who left the Democrats, but both of them may be part of the cabinet, and hence the question, RFK Jr. as health secretary. I've said it over and over. I don't change my tune. I'm not here like the Democrats. Oh my God, RFK is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No, I've been telling you for weeks, months, years, the guy's a fruitcake. He's a nut. He's a loon. He's far more Uncle Teddy Kennedy than he ever was his father or Uncle JFK. He's a nut job, but that doesn't mean there isn't something or another that we could potentially work together on, like health of Americans and how piss poor it is, our need to eat better, calling out, even correcting, because Trump Operation Warp Speed was a sellout. Sorry, supporting Trump. But like I said, I worship no man. I'm not a cultist. He got Operation Warp Speed wrong. He caved in, and that was another major federal government boondoggle, handouts to pharma, a boondoggle And then we got failed experimental shots that have more side effects than they have any benefit. They aren't a vaccine, they are a flu shot. If you get the polio shot, the mumps, the measles, tuberculosis, 99.9% of people actually then are immune. There is an immunity, and then you get a herd immunity. All that talk about during the Wuhan hysteria. But the Wuhan jabs are not vaccines. They don't make anyone immune to anything. They are a flu shot. That's why there are boosters every year, just like the general flu shots. They have to reformulate it for the new flu. But I got off the beaten track here. But my point being, Trump failed, just like G.W. Bush in the TARP bailout thing. Why is it Republican presidents always managed to some way, shape, or form show a rhino streak and cave to Democrats and ridiculous government growth and more federal government spending and federal government edicts, dictates, regulations, more power, more control for the fascistic deep state? So we can agree on that. So we can and should work with RFK Jr. on that and that alone. Same Tulsi Gabbard. I still am concerned, suspect she's a WEF, Klaus Schwab economics, not economic, but whatever, WEF related or tied to stooge. So I've met her a few times. I like her. She's pleasant to talk to, and I'm happy she was here in Michigan when Tudor Dixon was running against wretched Whitler to try to help Tudor to defeat Whitler to stop her from being reelected. So I'm happy she was doing that. That doesn't mean I fully trust her. But again, there are things, no doubt, we can work together with her on, and a particular cabinet spot might be okay for that. But I would never trust her. I would never trust RFK Jr. to ever consider them for president or even VP on any ticket of any kind. So, at any rate, I've already kind of babbled more than I expected I would regarding the RFK Jr. as health secretary question. Please go to TheLibertyBeacon.com. As I said, check out the article. There will be a lot more there in there about this, about all that. And I'm going to now jump into a second segment about YouTube issues, and then a third segment about the Kamalianists saying the quiet part out loud. I hope I've teased that enough for you to want to hear that. It's so important that I have to include it in this show, even though it's irrelevant to the show title. Okay? Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Let's get on to the other segments of the show. Hey, gang. Wearing my Stand Against Tyranny, Even If You Stand Alone shirt. A Christian warrior on the front. You'll know, you could see it. This is a ChristiTutionalist Politics video exclusive short. Going to be real short here. The Kamalianist admits the left anti-God part out loud. Have you seen this yet? And before I get into it, let me remind, Reagan said, trust but verify. Have you not heard me say yet? Don't trust me. I don't want you to trust me. Respect is earned. Honor, integrity is earned. Verify. Go do research yourself. But indeed, at a rally today, someone yelled at the Kamalunist, Jesus is Lord. And she had the unmitigated gall to respond, "You're at the wrong rally." And boy, is she right. And finally, someone admits it out loud. And I could just, right, if I had a microphone, I could do mic drop. That's it, right there. She basically said it. The reality, if you are even remotely Christian, not even a full context Bible Christian, as this show talks about and teaches and preaches, if you are a Christian of any kind, even remotely, even if you have your pinky toe in the water of Christianity, there is zero place for you in the fascocrats, the commie-fasci shoshis blend, the anti-God, anti-American, anti-Semitic, left-wing Democrat Party, Democrats, or fascocrats, as I like to call them often. Could be mic drop, but that's not it. That's not all. I could end here, but I won't, because I know, sadly, a lot of you out there don't know. And this is another thing you can go to probably DuckDuckGo or Jibberoo or FreeSpoke to find. Probably Rumble, you might find it, or BitChute or Brighteon, or I'm also on Daily Motion now. I don't know if they've been around long enough for you to be able to find this there, but Google owns YouTube now. It's under Alphabet Company, so it's probably scrubbed from YouTube, but maybe not. Remember a while back? Now, I don't have my exact fact on this correct. I didn't bother to look it up before talking to you because, again, I don't want you taking my word for it. I want you to get off your couch, or in this case, get on your couch in front of your laptop and type away and confirm the convention for Hillary. It could have been Obama. At that convention, the Democrats admitted their anti-God, anti-American, anti-Judeo-Christian ethos, foundations of our nation, people they are, and removed God from their platform. And then promptly went on to deny God 3 times. Not a coincidence. There's a message in that, if you pay attention. But they held a vote 3 times to put God back into the platform, and the convention floor, the delegates there clearly all said no. But the 3rd time, guy comes out from behind the screen, Wizard of Oz style, whispers in the chair's ear, and the chair then just ignores the vote and slams the gavel. The motion is passed. Why? Not because they are at all godly, but they know the atheists, at least in charge at the top, the ones who pretend and feign are fake Christians, that in order to dupe people, to fool people, to sucker people, even though they are anti-God and the Satanist party death cult, they must pretend to at least care about religion and faith, and especially Christians. The Al Smith dinner was just the other day, and Cackles didn't show up. And did you see that video, that anti-Catholic idiocy with the SNL star? And here in Michigan, wretched Whitler doing a mock communion with a Dorito. They are outright hostile to Christianity. But the Al Smith dinner, it was pointed out, 22% of people in the United States claim to be Catholic. So obviously, I say not Catholic, not Presbyterian, not Lutheran, not Adventist, not Presbyterian, not whatever flavor. All Christians coming together on those things we can agree on, not those things that Satan wants us arguing against each other about, not those things that man over time has changed in the Bible. That's why we have 100 different versions of the Bible and 100 different denominations or supposed quasi-undenominational or non-denominational. That's a denomination in itself, right? Evangelical wing. I can't talk again. Here we go again. Hit record and mouth and brain won't cooperate. Evangelical Christians is its own separate denomination there. But we must come together on those things under Christ and in the Bible that we can agree upon, or Satan wins if we are fighting against each other. So 22% identify as Catholic. I would have to think that at least 40%-ish. Again, I didn't look it up. The exact number here isn't important. The importance is, as for decades has been said, since even before Reagan, the silent majority, if they get off their butt, because as I've said, 30 to 50 million Christians, and God's Not Dead, the fifth installment movie, finally somebody other than me making the point, 30 to 50 million supposed Christians, not even registered to vote or registered to vote and don't vote. They couldn't cheat enough to defeat us if all of us, or at least the part of that is real Christians, the full Bible and full context, got off their butt and voted, we'd be undefeatable, unbeatable. They denied God many times. They are trying to fool you. How long are you going to continue to be suckers for the anti-God, anti-Christian, anti-Semitic, pro-terrorist party the left, the Democrat Party is? But they can't say those things. They can't be honest about those things because they need to fool people into voting for them. But Cackles, the communist, as I call her, actually said the quiet part out loud. She actually admitted they're the anti-God party. And hey, Jesus is Lord. No, you're at the wrong rally. Look it up. That, the convention, as I said, all their statements behind the scenes that they try to then scrub from the internet, as I'm no doubt sure they're trying to erase and not let be shown and seen anywhere, the communists admitting they're the anti-God party. And if you're a Christian of any sort, you have no place in the Democrat Party. Okay, well, I've already went longer than I wanted. Please see the YouTube video about the problems at YouTube now with my intro and outro, which is video exclusive. BitChute, Brighteon, Daily Motion now, Rumble, and YouTube. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Trust, but verify. And when you verify, you will see, indeed, honor, integrity, truth, reality live at this show versus all the left-wing spin, lying shows that just try to trick you, fool you, manipulate you through emotional hysterics into supporting people who don't have your interest at all in mind. Thank you all again. Take care. God bless. Okay, let's try this again. I recorded this about issues with YouTube, a YouTube video exclusive about what's going on with YouTube. And all of a sudden, I discover there's no sound with the video. What the heck? I'm going to rush through this and wrap it up quick. I went too long the last time. Anyway, if you've been with me a while, you've heard me say, no muss, no fuss, high production value items, may come later. Right for now, it's just you, me, a low-key kind of show. Well, I decided that I could at least update the intro and the outro. So, shout out to Alex Grohl, Stomping Rock 4 Shots, instrumental tune. I have permission to use. I underlaid that then to the intro and the outros of the show to make the show a little better, a little higher production, still nowhere close to the high production stuff that's out there with others. I'm in no hurry to rush to those things. But at any rate, I made those updates. And now I find these last several weeks of putting the uploads for the behind-the-scenes sneak peek videos to YouTube, and YouTube squawks. What happens is when you upload to YouTube, they go through a copyright check. Well, YouTube gets it wrong. And of course, I can't get a human to talk to. I have filed disputes, but they've not responded yet. So what happens? It's not this show. It's not your equipment. If on YouTube you're displaying a behind-the-scenes sneak peek video and the audio cuts out, that's because YouTube demands I give them ability to edit, censor parts of my show that they misidentify, that Alex Grohl instrumental, incorrectly identifying it as something else and claiming therefore it would be a copyright violation, even though I have permission to use what I'm using, and that they can then alter the sound or the whole overall video where that copyright violation they claim falsely is. So parts of the audio may cut out. They're supposed to still keep my talking above it, but I've noticed that doesn't always happen either. So there could be an insertion of some other song, don't know what, or just no audio in parts of the intro or the outro now until I get this dispute settled. But I just wanted to let you know what is going on. It's not this show. It's not your equipment. It is an issue with YouTube. And since I can't talk to a human and they've not responded to the disputes I file each time I upload that has the music in it, they've not gotten back to me. So at any rate, I just wanted to give you a quick update with what's going on there in case if you do watch the YouTube behind the scenes, that it's not your equipment. Okay, take care. God bless. Thank you for having tuned in for ChristiTutionalist Politics show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you, or autographed copies are available online direct from me via TerrorStrikes.info/shop. Be sure to check out more about today's discussion at TheLibertyBeacon.com, where my articles drop every Saturday. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, no fancy high production intro or inserts, at least yet. Just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to ChristiTutionalist Politics podcast and share episodes. We need your help